Life is not random. Every thought you think, every word you speak, and every belief you carry has a ripple effect that touches the unseen forces around you. Imagine, just for a moment, that the universe is a mirror, reflecting back the images you hold most vividly in your mind. It does not argue. It does not question. It simply responds. And what it responds to most powerfully are three exact words, words that carry energy, direction, and authority. If you use them consciously, they become keys that unlock doors to abundance, health, love, and opportunity. If you use them carelessly, they can lock those same doors without you even realizing. The words you speak are not simply sounds that vanish into the air. They are seeds planted in the soil of your life. Each phrase you utter carries weight, energy, and a creative force that shapes the conditions around you. Many people believe their circumstances come only from luck, fate, or hard effort, but the truth is far more subtle. The words you repeatedly speak and the phrases you habitually declare become instructions sent out into the unseen. They move like invisible messengers, arranging situations, aligning opportunities, and reflecting back to you the essence of what you have affirmed. Imagine a person who begins each morning by saying they are exhausted, unlucky, or overwhelmed. These declarations may feel casual, yet they weave threads of limitation into the fabric of their days. Soon they notice more delays, more difficulties, and more reasons to confirm their original words. On the other hand, picture someone who rises and speaks with certainty that they are strong, prepared, and capable. Even if challenges appear, their words carry them through with a sense of resourcefulness and power. The difference between these two lives often comes down to the difference in language. Every statement beginning with, "I am," is a command. It is a key that unlocks a particular door. When you say you are capable, the mind begins to notice proof of your ability. When you say you are creative, ideas and inspiration appear. When you say you are worthy, opportunities that match your sense of worth unfold. The universe does not argue, it reflects. That is why careless speech becomes a trap. Words of limitation are repeated until they shape an identity, and that identity becomes a life story. Think of a time when you faced an obstacle that seemed insurmountable. Perhaps it was financial pressure, a strained relationship, or a heavy task at work. In those moments, what you told yourself mattered more than anything else. If you said you could not handle it, the weight grew heavier. But if you declared you would find a way, solutions began to present themselves. A neighbor offered advice, a new idea emerged, or a door you thought was closed suddenly opened. It was not coincidence. It was alignment with the words you had chosen. Research in psychology supports this truth. Studies show that self-talk directly affects performance, stress levels, and resilience. Athletes who repeat affirmations of strength and focus perform better under pressure. Students who speak words of confidence before exams reduce anxiety and score higher. Even in health, patients who use empowering language recover more quickly than those who dwell on negative terms. These are not abstract theories, they are practical demonstrations of how words shape the human experience. Consider the story of a woman who lost her job unexpectedly. At first, she felt devastated and began telling herself she was a failure. Days turned into weeks of discouragement until she decided to change her language. Each morning she declared that she was resourceful, valuable, and ready for new opportunities. Within a month, she found a position that not only paid more but also matched her passions. Her words did not magically hand her the job, but they shifted her perspective, guided her choices, and magnetized the right connections. This is how words shape reality. They are not empty, they are blueprints. The moment you speak them, you send out instructions that your mind and environment begin to obey. To live with intention, guard your speech as you would guard a treasure. Choose words that reflect who you wish to become, not who you fear you are. Speak strength where there is weakness. Speak abundance where there is lack. Speak possibility where there is doubt. Over time, the outer world bends to match the inner language. Your life is a canvas, and words are the brushstrokes. Every sentence paints a piece of the picture you will one day step into. If you desire beauty, speak beauty. If you desire peace, speak peace. If you desire success, speak success. In every moment, you hold the power to command your reality through the words you choose. The more consciously you use them, the more extraordinary your life becomes. The power of words becomes unstoppable only when they are ignited with emotion. Words alone can be like dry seeds scattered on the ground. They hold potential, but without water, they do not take root. Emotion is the water, the spark, the electricity that makes words come alive and move into action. When you speak without feeling, you whisper into emptiness. When you speak with conviction, the very air around you vibrates with response. Think of the difference between a lifeless statement and a declaration charged with passion. Saying you are confident while trembling with doubt produces little change. But when you rise, shoulders lifted, voice steady, and affirm with true feeling that you are capable and prepared, something shifts inside you. That shift is not only internal, it radiates outward. Others feel it, situations bend toward it, and the energy you project draws back to you the very thing you have claimed. Consider an athlete preparing for the final stretch of a race. If they mutter the words of strength without belief, their legs faltered. Yet, if they shout within their spirit, filled with fiery certainty, they unlock reserves they did not know existed. Science has shown that emotion affects performance, endurance, and focus. Athletes who visualize success with intensity and passion often outperform those who rely on mechanical training alone. The reason is simple. The heart fuels what the mind believes. Every achievement, great or small, carries behind it an emotional current. A person who speaks of opportunity with joy and excitement is far more likely to notice the open doors than someone who speaks in a flat, indifferent tone. The world reflects back the strength of your vibration. If you whisper hope but feel despair, the signal is weak. If you declare success with unshakable enthusiasm, the signal is powerful and it cannot be ignored. Real life gives countless examples of this. Think of someone searching for work. One person approaches with resignation, repeating words of discouragement, and finds doors continually shut. Another approaches with words of certainty, feeling the thrill of possibility, and their enthusiasm attracts attention. Employers respond not only to skills but to the energy that a candidate brings into the room. That energy is nothing more than emotion fueling words. Even in relationships, this principle is visible. A person who says, "I care about you," without warmth delivers emptiness. The words exist, but they lack power. Yet when those same words are spoken with genuine affection, the listener feels transformed. Emotion is the difference between sound and music, between noise and meaning. It is the unseen force that breathes life into language. To command your life, you must not only speak words but feel them deeply. Stand before a mirror and declare your strength. If the words feel hollow, repeat them until you ignite the spark of belief. Move your body, lift your voice, call forth the emotion as though it were already real. The universe responds not only to what you say but to the intensity with which you say it. Research on affirmations reveals this truth. Positive statements repeated with emotion activate areas of the brain connected to reward and motivation. Without emotion, the brain treats the words as empty. With emotion, the brain begins to rewire itself to match the declaration. This is why the practice of speaking with feeling is not mystical alone. It is practical and rooted in how the human mind works. To live a life of power, learn to marry word and feeling. Speak as though the truth you desire is already here. Infuse your declarations with joy, with gratitude, with certainty. Do not merely repeat phrases, embody them. Let your voice carry strength, your body express assurance, and your heart burn with belief. When words are paired with true feeling, they become commands that cannot be denied. They move unseen forces, stir opportunities, and shape destiny. It is not enough to know the phrase, you must feel it until every fiber of your being vibrates in harmony with it. In that state, nothing can stand against you, for you are no longer asking, you are commanding, and the universe must respond. Clarity is the language the universe understands best. When your words and desires are scattered, your results arrive scattered as well. Life cannot deliver precision to a request that is vague. If you stand before a painter and say, "Paint me something," the canvas may be filled with colors that do not move you. But if you describe a sunrise over the ocean, the gentle waves, the glow of gold across the sky, the artist has direction. The universe is no different. It responds to details, not confusion. So many people unknowingly keep their lives in a fog. They say they want success but never define what success means for them. They declare they want happiness, but give no image of what happiness looks like in their daily lives. Without definition, they receive fragments: a fleeting smile, a short-lived opportunity, a temporary spark. Yet those who speak clearly, who know precisely what they desire, see their lives align with extraordinary speed. Imagine walking into a restaurant and telling the waiter, "Just bring me something." What arrives at the table may not satisfy you at all. The same happens when you approach life with indecision. Goals that are undefined attract mismatched outcomes. Now imagine instead that you order with certainty. Bring me the pasta with fresh herbs and a glass of water with lemon. The request is exact and the delivery matches. This is how clarity works. Clarity does not mean knowing every step. It means knowing the destination. A traveler who sets out on a journey without direction wanders endlessly. A traveler who chooses the mountain peak may not know each twist in the road, but the path reveals itself because the destination is fixed. Life rewards the same principle. Once you speak with clarity, you begin to notice signs, opportunities, and helpers along the way. Consider the story of a young man searching for work. At first, he told everyone he would take any job at all. His search dragged on, producing nothing but frustration. Then he became clear he wanted a position in design, where creativity and problem-solving could meet. Within weeks, he was introduced to a friend of a friend who owned a design firm. His clarity magnetized the right connection. Before, his request was too broad to be answered. Once focused, it found its way. Even scientific research affirms this principle. Studies on goal setting show that individuals who clearly write down their aims are dramatically more likely to succeed. The act of writing, of defining, of shaping a vision in exact words tells both the mind and the world what to work toward. Ambiguity dilutes energy, clarity concentrates it, and what is concentrated grows powerful. Think too about relationships. A person who says they want love but accepts any treatment may end up in situations that bring pain instead of joy. But one who becomes clear, I want a partner who is kind, respectful, and supportive, sets a standard. Their words draw a higher quality of connection, because the request is precise. The practice of clarity is not about controlling every detail, but about setting the vibration. Speak clearly of what you are ready to receive, and allow the path to unfold. Say, I am ready for meaningful work. Say, I am ready for a peaceful home. Say, I am ready for financial freedom. Define it in words that paint a picture. The moment you give shape to the request, the universe begins shaping the response. Clarity is power. It turns vague hopes into commanding declarations. It transforms wandering energy into focused streams of opportunity. When you know what you desire and speak it with certainty, life rushes to meet you halfway. Each day is an invitation to refine your words, sharpen your vision, and declare with precision the life you are ready to live. Words set the stage, emotion fuels them, and clarity directs them, but without action they remain incomplete. Action is the bridge between intention and manifestation. It is the proof you offer to life that your command is not idle speech, but a living declaration. When your actions align with your words, you create harmony. And that harmony calls forth results. Imagine declaring each day that you are abundant while continuing to spend recklessly, avoid opportunities, or close your eyes to responsibility. The words contradict the deeds, and the universe receives a mixed signal. But when you speak abundance and then follow it by saving wisely, investing thoughtfully, and stepping into new opportunities, the words gain weight. They are no longer just sounds, they are instructions supported by evidence. Life responds most powerfully to congruence. If a farmer says he believes in the harvest but never plants a seed, no amount of declaration will bring crops to his field. Yet when he plants with certainty and tends the soil with care, his faith and action work together. The same principle applies to every area of human life. Words command, but action confirms the command. Consider the example of someone who dreams of health. They may affirm daily that they are strong and full of energy, but if their choices reflect neglect, poor sleep, no exercise, unhealthy food, the body receives a conflicting message. However, when they speak strength and follow it with movement, nourishing meals, and rest, their body aligns with the command. The spoken word becomes reality because it is anchored in practice. History is filled with stories of people who matched their bold words with bold actions. An inventor who claims to create a new future but never lifts a tool remains only a dreamer. The one who declares possibility and then works day after day, experiment after experiment, turns vision into invention. The difference is not brilliance alone, it is action confirming the command. Even research on achievement supports this truth. Studies show that people who take immediate, small steps after setting a goal are far more likely to succeed. The act of moving, however small, signals to the mind and to the world that the intention is real. Motion builds momentum, and momentum opens doors that once seemed closed. Without action, intention is a wish. With action, intention becomes inevitable. Think of relationships again. A person may say they value connection, but if they never make the call, write the message, or show up with presence, the words are empty. Contrast this with someone who speaks love and then acts in kindness, support, and consistency. The relationship flourishes because the action has confirmed the command. Action does not always mean grand gestures. Often, it is the quiet, steady steps that carry the most power. Writing the plan, making the appointment, practicing the skill, showing up again and again. These small acts accumulate into great outcomes. Each one whispers to the universe, I am serious, I am aligned, I am ready. When you combine words, emotion, clarity, and action, you create a current too strong to resist. The universe responds not just to what you declare but to how you live. It watches whether your feet walk in the direction your voice points. When they do, unseen forces align, doors open, and opportunities appear in rhythm with your movement. To live a life of true power, let your actions echo your words. Let every step you take be a confirmation of what you have already claimed. Speak abundance and act with responsibility. Speak love and act with kindness. Speak success and act with discipline. In this harmony of declaration and deed lies the secret of manifestation. For once action confirms the command, life itself bends to deliver the proof of your words. The greatest transformations in life are rarely born from a single burst of effort. They emerge through the steady rhythm of consistency. One word spoken with conviction is powerful, but words spoken daily, with persistence, become unstoppable. One action taken in alignment with your command begins the process. But repeated actions carve pathways so deep that reality itself reshapes to match them. Consistency is the master key that unlocks doors which momentary effort cannot. Think of the ocean's waves meeting the shore. No single wave could shape the rocks, but the endless repetition smooths the edges, creates new landscapes, and alters the coastline forever. In the same way, your daily declarations and aligned choices, repeated again and again, reshape the landscape of your life. It is not the dramatic burst of energy that creates lasting change, it is the quiet, unwavering practice of holding firm to your word. Consider the person who desires better health. One day of eating well or one afternoon of exercise does little. But when those actions are repeated daily, the body begins to shift, strength builds and vitality rises. Another person may wish for financial growth. Saving once is helpful, but saving consistently transforms the future. In every area of life, consistency is the force that carries the command across time until it manifests in form. Many abandon their intentions because results do not appear overnight. They speak powerfully for a week and wonder why nothing has shifted. They take action for a few days and expect the world to respond immediately. Yet life often waits to see whether your command is steady or fleeting. When your consistency proves that your declaration is not a passing thought but a true decision, the universe aligns in your favor. Research on human behavior reveals that repetition wires the brain. Neural pathways strengthen with every consistent thought, word, and action. What begins as effort becomes automatic. A person who consistently declares they are confident and takes small steps toward courage eventually becomes naturally confident. The repetition reshapes the inner self, and the outer world mirrors the change. Think of a musician learning an instrument. Playing once a month leads nowhere. But practicing daily, even for minutes, unlocks mastery. Or a writer who dreams of finishing a book, but only writes when inspiration strikes. They may never complete their vision. Yet the one who writes a page each day consistently, soon holds an entire book in hand. These examples reveal a truth that touches every human life. Consistency transforms dreams into achievements. Even in relationships, consistency is the glue of trust. Words of love spoken once may feel beautiful, but when they are reinforced through daily kindness, presence, and care, they build unshakable bonds. It is not the grand gesture alone that matters but the steady, reliable confirmation of love over time. To live with power, embrace consistency as your ally. Do not let discouragement from slow beginnings distract you. Each repetition is a stroke of the brush painting the canvas of your future. Each affirmation spoken, each step taken, each choice aligned with your vision adds to the momentum. Over weeks and months, the invisible becomes visible, and the impossible becomes inevitable. Consistency is not about perfection, it is about persistence. Even if you falter, return quickly to the rhythm. The tide does not stop because one wave breaks differently, it continues, and so must you. Speak your words daily, fuel them with emotion. Guide them with clarity, confirm them with action, and repeat until they are woven into the very fabric of your being. When you practice this steady devotion, the locked doors of life begin to open. The opportunities that once seemed out of reach arrive. The strength you thought you lacked emerges. The life you dreamed of steps forward to meet you. Consistency is the force that transforms fleeting intention into lasting reality. It is the quiet power that proves your command is true, and once proven, nothing can stand in its way. The universe obeys, not sometimes, not selectively, but always. And it obeys the commands hidden inside 3 exact words: I am ready, ready to receive, ready to act, ready to become the fullest version of yourself. When you speak these words with clarity, emotion, aligned action, and consistency, you no longer chase life. Life comes to you. Remember, every time you say I am, you are holding the pen that writes your future. The universe is listening. The question is, what will you command next?